7:46. But I mean, if it doesn't come now, I can wait. I'm very patient.
Okay. Now, we wish you all the best as you work hard to beat your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
All right, thank you very much for that. Remember, you're watching KUTV, and joining me right now, Mohammed, right there. You can use your mic, right?
University of Ghana.
How has Kenya been? Have you ever been to Kenya before we actually talk to you as the?
Yeah, I was in Kenya last year, October.
Right. How is Kenya so far?
Oh, so far I really like Kenya. They are friendly. I really love Kenyans. But their food, I'm finding it difficult.
What has the food done? I was hearing.
I'm not used to like the way we are used to Ghanaian food. So we are finding it difficult to. But we enjoy some of them, especially the potato that they have nice. It's really nice.
Right in Kenya, it is for the Kikuyu people.
Yeah.
For the Kikuyu people, they enjoy that the mashed potato a lot.
Really nice. It's really nice.
And a lot of soup. But then anyway, you are the 400x4 champion. Let us start with how does it feel to snatch us a medal right here in Kenya and you take it to Ghana?
We're much prepared for it. So we were ready to win. Yeah, and all we know, everybody is aware Kenyans are good when it comes to athletics. So we're much prepared to match them boot by boot.
How is the preparations in Ghana? If you actually compare the weather also, but I mean definitely it was a different kind of weather. So the weather, how is the preparations generally?
Okay, the weather. Let me say the weather was that much. We're finding it difficult to run in because after every race you feel like your heart oil is dry. You can't bring saliva out. You can't breathe in. But when we're in Ghana, we train in hot sun. So when we came here, you have to use rope, something that is hot, so that normally the hot in.
So normally in Ghana it's always hot
it's
and
hot. You have some place that is hotter. You have place that is hot down.
Right.
That you'll be able to cope it.
What next now for you?
Okay, we are done with the athletics. So right now the preparation is World University Games, China.
So you're right now the preparations for you is majorly on the China.
Yes, please. We are ready to. Everybody, my team, everybody had medal. So we are going.
Probably
the whole athletics team.
Right, thank you. Probably, what are the lessons that you have learned in these particular races that you will take forward now to next year? We do have quite some time before the university games start. What lessons have you learned?
Well, the lessons that I've learned so far here is that as a sportsman, you need to know how to relate with people in public, even if they are not from your country. You need to respect each and everyone's opinion and don't underestimate anyone. That is what I've learned so far in Kenya.
All right.
Yes. Please.
How has the language barrier been for you also? Do you speak French?
No.
Oh.
I only speak English and Chi.
And?
Chi, that is Ghanaian language.
Yes. I should really learn some of the...
Yeah, you have to learn. When you want to say come, you say bra.
Bra.
When you say go, ko. Yeah.
Right, thank you very much. For us, it's Kuja Enda.
Kuja Enda.
Right.
Wow.
And Asante Sana.
Asante Sana, understand. Asante Sana.
Asante Sana.
Karibu.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Aziz Mohammed, the champion of the 4x400 meters. Remember, this is Kenyatta University live on location. Right next to me is the Kenyatta University Amphitheater. The closing ceremony is about to start. The preparations are ongoing. As I've told you, behind me, the DJ doing his things, blowing us some particular, favorites of some pianos, some good vibes, and inshallah, everything looks beautiful right here. And also, we'll be taking you live to the closing ceremony that probably is about to start in maybe 40 minutes, but then we'll get to, know about all that. And, so right now, also to briefly, take a look at some of these particular games that have been in these particular games right here is just a minute. Right. So yes. These particular games, and we'll definitely be, interviewing the FASU president as I had promised you also. But then remember, these particular All Africa Games have been, they always happen every 2 years. And, since in Ghana in 1974, where, Nazis comes from, then back in Kenya, as I had told you that I'll confirm, in 1978. And then, political instability also affected, across Africa. So, it's paused until 2004, which happened in South Africa, and then it went all the way in Uganda in 2008, and then in Namibia in 2012, and then it came back to Kenya in 2014, and then went back to South Africa in 2016, and then Ethiopia in 2018, and then right here, the 10th edition of the FASU All Africa Games, right in Kenyatta University, coming to a close. A 5-day bonanza. It has been quite hectic, if you ask me, but then quite an amazing experience. But then right now, with all of that, let us get to take a look at, and listen to what the FASU president, Ms. Nomsa Mahlangu, had to say about, her opinion about all this 5 days, and also, but then she will, be telling us in the closing ceremony where the next, the 11th edition will be. I had rumors maybe, a charter here and there that probably it might be in Lagos, Nigeria. But then let's get to listen to her. Been according to you as the president?
My senior man.
Wow, it's been exciting, it's been interesting, and it's been fulfilling. I think Kenyatta has outdone themselves, but there's still room for improvement. And I think the most important thing is to see student athletes doing what they enjoy the most, and that is playing sport. And I'm glad that a lot of the universities have sent their athletes here to participate and compete. And obviously, everyone wants a gold medal, but not everyone can get a gold medal. So yes, we're very excited. And yeah.
Right, I want to dive into some particular cases, two particular cases, football cases that happened yesterday. One is the women's matches, Kenyatta University, Egypt. A little fight happened there. As the president, what do you have to say about that? And also yesterday's match, Kenyatta University and Egypt, the men's match. The game didn't, finish. There was a little fracas in between there. How is the FASU management handling all this?
Fair play is very important. Fair play is key. Sport is not only about winning. We all know that everyone wants to win, but facts are the referee's decision is final, and if a referee has made a decision, there's nothing you can do to change that decision. And more than anything, as FASU will follow all the necessary processes. If people protest, protests will be handled. If people appeal, appeals will be handled. But more than anything, we need to remain fair, and both players and officials need to understand sporting fields are not boxing rings. Therefore, people need to understand that decisions will not always go your way, and most importantly, you need to be honest and have integrity as a sportsman and a sportswoman.
He's called Billy James.
So are there investigations going on for these particular cases?
There are currently people sitting handling the cases. So as soon as decisions have been made, the public will be informed.
Briefly, paint us a picture of tomorrow's closing ceremony. Tomorrow is going to be the last day. What are we going to also expect?
Well, I don't know if you've watched the opening ceremony. I am sure the closing ceremony is going to be much better than the opening. And most importantly, as FASU, we are thankful to the people of Kenya, Kenyatta University, and the government at large for allowing us to come to this beautiful country. Thank you.
Let's talk about the 11th edition of the FASU All Africa Games. The location, where are we going next? How is it going to be, and what lessons also have you learned from this 5 days that you're going to actually put into the 11th edition?
Well, we are going to have a review session to look at what went wrong, what went right, where can we improve, because as FASU we believe that every day is an opportunity opportunity to do better. And don't spoil the excitement. We will announce who's going to get the 11th edition. And we want that to be something exciting for people. So if we say it on TV, it won't be as exciting.
Any last words as the president of FASU? Any last words that you feel like it is important the public should know?
1 minute.
The African continent needs to appreciate sport and invest in sport, because the reality is for every 1,000 shillings you spend in sport, you are actually saving 10,000 shillings in health. So people of Africa, people of this beautiful continent, invest in sport. Make sport as part of your daily lives.
Right, thank you very much, and success. Right, and there we have it, the interview with the Miss Nomsa Maklangu. She is the FASU president, the All Africa University Games FASU president. And she said that they have learned a few lessons here and there, and they will definitely be meeting after these particular games and just go back to the drawing board and actually look at what the scorecard, basically what worked for them, what did not work for them. And obviously again ask her where will the 11th edition be. Who will we be seeing the next person being handed the flag? But then she said it's not going to be fun if it's on TV. But then they will definitely be doing that. I'm taking a look at the closing ceremonies program, and definitely they're going to award the overall trophies from position 3 to 1, and declare the 10th edition of the All Africa Games closed, and then later on handing over the FASU flag to the host of the 11th FASU Games, and then playing the FASU anthem. So we'll definitely stay tuned right here at KUTV and all the social media platforms at Facebook at KUTV Kenya, and also on our YouTube page. We're streaming live at KUTV Kenya Live, and also we are mainstream from whichever part of this world you're watching us from. Remember, my question of the day to you is, which has been the highlight moment of these particular games? And before we actually before this particular closing ceremony begins, the preparations are underway. A particular athlete is joining me right here. Introduce yourself, which particular discipline you are from, and my question to you is, which has been the highlight moment for this particular games for you?
Okay. It's okay. Just my name is Kundeng.
Okay.
Kundeng. Just my name is Kundeng. I'm an athlete.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which particular race to be clear?
I mean 200 meters. 200
meters. You won that particular. You won that particular race. Which number did you finalize?
Unfortunately, I've not won, and the race was so tough. But I had a good experience on my race because I ran a good time. Yeah.
Which particular university are you representing?
I'm representing MKU. Mount Kenya University.
Mount Kenya University.
Yeah.
Right. So how have these games been for you? You probably.
Well, I can say it has been good. Just for my experience, I can say that it's a good start for me.
Right.
Yeah. And at least now I have a better experience. Sometimes you have to run your own race, and you are just competing with whole Africa. Yeah, so you have to be quick and just to know that this race, like for a purpose.
All right.
Yeah.
And to ask you, as you're from South Sudan,
yeah.
But then you represent Kenya, so I'll definitely talk to you as a Kenyan, as a fellow Kenyan, yeah. as our president loves to say it, fellow Kenyans.
Yeah.
Where do you think, because when you look at these particular races, Ugandans and South Africans were, outshining us. Where do you think is the problem? This is our home ground, but then why do you think that was the case?
The problem is, okay, I can say we as Kenyans, we are not so confident on sprinting. You know, we are just focusing on long distance running.
Long distance, okay.
See, but sprinting is not about just about having muscles and all that, you see. But you have to train, you have to focus, and you have to do whatever it takes.
Right.
Yeah.
Finally, which particular lessons have you learned, so that even now in the 11th edition, if you're going to participate, and hopefully if you're going to participate, that you're going to carry forward as you finalize?
I can say that the main thing is that you have to focus, you have to put a lot of effort, and just running is not for some people. It's for everyone. As long as you're focused, as long as you put much effort, you can make it.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And have a beautiful closing ceremony. Ensure that you finalize everything in a style. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
and there you have it. And according to him, everyone can run, and running is for everyone. And I can tell you, and I can pretty much tell you, I am a runner. I can run 20 kilometers non-stop. Believe you me, I can actually do that. But then this is Kenyatta University. Right next to me is the we'll be coming to you and broadcasting the closing ceremony as it happens in each and every bit of it. But then before we actually come to the closing ceremony, I want us to take a particular look at the Kenyatta University virtual tour and what Kenyatta University has to offer, because even for those who came from Ndeja University of Johannesburg, and they're taking probably a degree program, this is an opportunity for them to actually rethink of coming to Kenyatta University to undertake probably their postgraduate. They have walked around Kenyatta University and they have seen it is beautiful. But then let me show you how Kenyatta University really is beautiful. Take a look.
Thank you once again for choosing Kenyatta University to host the 10th African University Games under the Federation of African University Sports, FASU. Kenyatta University is committed to working very closely with you to deliver successful and historic 10th FASU Games. The games will start from 4th to 12th June 2022 at Kenyatta University.
Throughout the planning period, Kenyatta University has achieved tremendous milestones in preparation for the Games. These include acquiring requisite approvals, revising the academic calendar to accommodate the Games, and achieving meaningful progress in the various action plans. At Kenyatta University, we are ready to host over 2,000 sportsmen and sportswomen from universities in the African continent who will take part in various sports disciplines during the competitions. We have adequate infrastructure for the sports activities as well as ample accommodation, catering facilities. We have made the necessary plans to ensure that KU as a host meets the requisite standards as set out by FASU. We hereby take you through a virtual tour of what KU has done in readiness for the games, which will be held from 4th to 12th June 2022. Kenyatta University, through the local organizing committee, came up with various subcommittees with specific terms of reference in readiness for the games.
You are welcome to the Directorate of Sports and Games, Kenyatta University. We are very busy right now preparing for the FASU Games. It's a pleasure to have you here to give you information on our preparedness for these games. And we are proud to have been given the honor as Kenyatta University to host these games.
Kenyatta University has made the necessary arrangements to upgrade the available sports facilities to the required standards for the games. This has taken care of having adequate spectator terraces and storage space for sports equipment. For training, exercise and physical fitness, the university has in place a well-equipped gymnasium. To ensure availability of enough storage space, the university will provide 2 40-feet containers in the sports fields. To provide adequate competition and training facilities, the following are in place: 6-lane synthetic track, 4 football pitches, 50-meter-long Olympic standard swimming pool, tennis courts, 2 basketball courts, netball courts, 2 volleyball courts, handball courts, rollball courts, and also indoor game venues for badminton, chess, and taekwondo. The Nyayo hostels within the university main campus will be the Games Village. This is a 6-block facility which will provide adequate accommodation to the 2,000 sportsmen and sportswomen. The rooms are furnished with state-of-the-art fixtures and facilities with clean, well-lit and tiled hallways. The facility is supplied with reliable fresh water by the Nairobi Water Company and backed up by several boreholes and the various water towers. We have in place solar heating to provide warm water in all the shower cubicles. We have in place well-manicured lawns and meeting rooms for use by the sportsmen and women. Additional 101 comfortable, spacious, self-contained and with a touch of African-style accommodation will be provided at the Kenyatta University Conference Center, KUCC, located within the university. This will be provided at a reasonable fee. For guests requiring external accommodation, arrangements have been made with hotels in Nairobi which include Safari Park Hotel, Utali Hotel and Maxland Hotel in Juja.
I want to welcome every one of you here. My name is Dr. Beatrice Kadhongo. I am the Director in charge of Accommodation Services of Kenyatta University, a job that I enjoy doing, working with students, and that is why I'm very pleased to also host the 10th FASU Games, because we are going to be working with students from different parts of Africa. As a directorate, I must admit that it is our pleasure to work with students and students of diversity. We have a long experience, hosting games of this nature. In 2017, we were privileged as a university to host the World Under 18 International Sports. And it was a great opportunity to deliver for the country. And it is because of that that we have been privileged as a university to get another chance to host the FASU Games.
A standard equipped kitchen and cold rooms with adequate dining area and staff for provision of meals is in place. It is located inside the Games Village for ease of access by the sportsmen and sportswomen. Additional catering facilities for officials will be at the Kenyatta University Conference Center located within the university. The menus for the games will be selected from various countries in Africa.
My name is Dr. Lucy Kathuri Ogola, the Director Catering Services, Kenyatta University. The catering department is quite prepared and ready to offer catering services during the 10th FASU Games. We are looking forward to hosting the 2,000 participants right here at the Nyayo Kitchen. The Nyayo Kitchen gives us a very spacious space for the dining needs for the 2,000 participants. It also gives us the correct infrastructure which has been installed for us to be able to comply with all the hygiene and COVID protocol needs with regard to catering. I take this opportunity to welcome all the participants of the 10th FASU Games to Kenyatta University, where we believe that you shall have a memorable experience with regard not only to sporting, but the entire environment, and more importantly, the quality and service of catering services. You're most welcome.
Plans are in place to ensure availability of health services, suitable personnel, and ambulance services. This will also be in liaison with the county medical services and partner hospitals. The available Games Village Medical Clinic consists of a waiting bay, consultation rooms, procedure room, and pharmacy. The Anti-Doping Control Center consists of a waiting area, sample collection toilet, doping control officer rooms.
I would want to welcome you to the 10th All Africa Inter-University Games to be held here in Kenyatta University. We, the health team, are ready to take care of all your health needs and medical emergencies.
KU will ensure availability of lounges for VIPs, delegates, athletes, team managers, sponsors, and FASU family. This will be done in the Business Student Services Center, BSSC. The opening and closing ceremonies will be held in the University Amphitheatre, which is adjacent to BSSC. The proposed venue for the medal award ceremony is inside the Games Village, which will be done in consultation with FASU. Wi-Fi is available in some proposed sections of the catering and accommodation areas of the Games Village and other designated areas. Religious services are available through Catholic Church, Seventh-day Adventist Church, Protestants community, and also mosque for Muslims. Genres of entertainment has been identified for all the days of the games, and the process of sourcing and vetting for the internal and external providers is ongoing. Daily evening entertainment will take place between the 5th and 10th June 2022 at the Dome or Amphitheatre. Possible excursion locations have been identified, including Kenya Museums, Bomas of Kenya, Carnival, and Nairobi National Park. Psychosocial support will be provided in the tents and counseling rooms at Business Student Services Center, BSSC. Nyayo 1 Common Room, Dome, Amphitheatre will serve as the interaction or leisure venues. Huduma Center at BSSC 7 will serve as the venue for reporting lost and found items, valuables, as well as the call or help center. The university has ensured availability of adequate security and safety for all the participants during the games. The security measures include all-time screening of persons and vehicles entering the university compound, well-fenced university compound with manned gates.
My name is Lilian Naomi Jumba, the security personnel at Kenyatta University. We are happy to welcome you to our institution to be part and parcel of all the 10th African Games. In the security department, we are very ready for you. Being in the past, we've been able to host IAAF that went down without anything else. So we are happy and ready to welcome you here. We liaise with the government officials in the security department. So we are here 24/7 for each and every person that is here. And our main objective is to ensure that you are safe.
In the event of a fire outbreak, KU has in place a fire engine with adequate personnel. To supplement the security services, the university works in liaison with the Kenya Police for provision of additional security personnel. The Games Village has a standalone police post for handling all security issues. To provide suitable airport transfers and local transport services for teams and various officials, Kenyatta University vehicles will be used. The university has a fleet of the following: 12 buses including one 51-seater and 11 62-seaters, 3 minibuses including one 26-seater and two 29-seater, 3 vans including one 9-seater and two 14-seater, 4 Toyota saloons which are 4-seaters. To ensure availability of adequate parking space for vehicles used by the participants, KU has mapped out parking space as follows: Geography Department, Graduate School, Art Zone, Science Zone, and Graduation Square, which is the central alternative parking.
My name is Celine Wabuke, the student leader representing sports in Kenyatta University. We are very happy to be holding the 10th All African University Games here. As a student leader in Kenyatta University, I would like to invite all the other students from all Africa to the great Kenyatta University. Feel free to interact with the students in Kenyatta University. We are always loving, supportive, and we will always have volunteers who will be helping you wherever you will be maybe needing help.
My name is Professor Vincent Onywera from the Department of Physical Education, Exercise and Sport Science. I would like to join the Vice Chancellor and the university community to welcome all of you to Kenyatta University for the 10th edition of the FASU Games. The FASU Games coming to Kenya, coming to Kenyatta University is a major milestone and a confirmation that Kenya is a sporting nation, that Kenyatta University is an international and world-class university, not only in teaching, in learning, in research, in community service, but also in sports excellence.
As the Vice Chancellor, I take this opportunity to welcome you all to the Games and to Kenyatta University. Karibuni sana.
There you have it. I told you Kenyatta University is beautiful, and definitely, Vice Chancellor Professor Paul K. Wanaina, just telling the visitors previously, welcome to Kenyatta University, and not only to All Africa Games, but also, again, if you're thinking of probably joining, registering for probably a postgraduate or even a degree right in Kenyatta University. I'm being joined by Ikene. He'll definitely introduce himself. He is a Nigerian journalist. Ikene, good evening.
Good evening.
Right, looking at you, everything right here looks amazing.
Yeah.
The 5 days are over. How has this particular games been for someone who has covered even inter-university games?
Okay. First of all, my name is Dr. Iken Nwokede.
Doctor.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Dr.
No problem. I'm a lecturer at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Department of Chemical Engineering.
Right.
And equally, I'm a journalist, radio TV presenter. And coincidentally, by God's grace, I'm the media officer of Team Unizik to the 10th edition of the FASU All Africa University Games happening at a great institution such as Kenyatta University. And I think in the past 5 days, I have to say, first of all, I've seen real great performance from of about 2,000 athletes here. I was informed that about 20 universities are here from 16 countries. The performance has been electric. The atmosphere, extraordinary, awesome, you have to say, and the performance that the student athletes have actually performed to expectation. It tells you there is hope for the future for sports in Africa. It starts from the ivory tower, and what we have seen is good representation. We have to say that from the Games Village, I'm quite fascinated with what I have seen. A large expanse of land, over 1 square kilometer of a sport environment. So kudos to Kenyatta University for what they have put up and hosting the whole of Africa. This is quite remarkable, and I have to say congratulations to them for being a good host in this past 5 days.
Right, indeed. And also, you as a sports journalist and mostly focusing on football for that matter, you have had the chance to watch from the first day on the 6th day of June until today, the final day on matters football, where looking at the football right here at the university level, how has it been for you?
Well, you first of all have to understand the fact that these are students playing. These are not really professionals and per se, quote unquote, but these are student athletes who wants to be professional. I know there are a couple of them who play for professional football clubs that we are giving concession admission into some universities, and I know Kenyatta University have some. And so oftentimes in the course of the game, you see 1 or 2 moments of individual brilliance coming from these players to tell you, hey, we have what it takes. We've got that grit and gravitas to do what. Say that the players I've seen have performed well. On my side, yes, I'm Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka. We came with a female football team. It's our very first time of being there, courtesy of the fact that we finished third at the Nuga Games in Lagos. We had a good account. It's an experience for the girls, though I didn't quite end Rossi, but it's now a great experience. We'll leverage on this and look at where we didn't get it right. Look at some of the challenges we had. In the next edition, coincidentally, which will be hosted by Nigeria, LASU and UNILAG jointly hosting this. We hope to come up with a strong side. But over and above that, I've watched most of the games. I saw the finals this afternoon between Kenyatta University and Makerere University. That was a great match. Makerere University, I think in terms of the technicality there, we are better. But one thing that worked for Kenyatta University is that they had this courage and they had this sheer determination that we'll have to get it over the line, and they continued to play. The game ended 1-1 at full time, went on to extra time, and just at the nick of time, Kenyatta University did their university proud and will be representing Africa at FASU come January 2023. So I wish them all the best. They have a great side. They need to keep this side. They need to work on them. Take them to camping for training for the FASU game, maybe 2 or 3 months before that time. Have some couple of our friendlies that will help to energize the side going to represent Africa at the global showpiece in China come January.
Right, and also, Kenna, when you look at this particular games, there's obviously chaos right here, in the games for the women's, and I think that on Wednesday and then on Thursday. Okay, on Wednesday evening, the Kenyatta University versus Makerere University game. The game ended on the 70th minute because of lack of enough light in the playing ground, and then the referee and declarations were they deliberated later on in the morning. And it was, decided that the next 20 minutes, you as a sports journalist and mostly a football, journalist, you have extensively covered most of this.
Yeah.
Do you think this was, fair for, even, for the American University in Cairo to actually come back and play in the next morning for the 20 minutes?
In football and in sports in its entirety, there's what we call force majeure. Now, in case of a weather condition, in case of crowd trouble, or maybe 1 or 2 teams are feeling hard done by, you can protest. You have the officials, about 4 of them on the field of play. You have the 4th official, you have the referee and the assistant referees, and equally the match commissioner. So when complaints like this are made, all the referee has to do is maybe stop the game momentarily, review this, a report comes through, then you look at a way of saving the situation, and then era of our boardroom points has ended. All you have to do is assess, review what has been done, look at maybe the petition being put forward by the team feeling hard done by, and then find a way to continue the game. So it was basically the decision of the referees, and what they have to do has to be for the best interest of sports, and I have to say they have done well, and there is nothing wrong with restarting a game and playing 20 minutes to the end of the game.
Right, but then also, Dr. Kene, when you look at most of these games, one key challenge was the language barrier. When probably an example is like the Guinea players. The Guinea players don't understand much of English. So and we look at even some of the Egyptian players. They also don't understand much of English. So majorly the language barrier was a key factor and a key challenge in most of these games. Even the officiating of it. Moving forward for the 11th edition, your advice to the officials for FASU. How can we handle most of these games?
Well, we know that at the world level, FIFA, the word is unfair play. FASU have to do a whole lot in terms of maybe going for refresher courses for the officials to know that they should be unbiased. What they should do here should be a full representation of the color they wear, officiate well, ensure that teams play, and of course, the best decision is taken in the interest of the game of football or equally other sports.
Right, and even as we conclude this particular conversation, what has been your highlight moment since all these 5 days? It could probably be the weather, probably the food also. Generally, what has been your highlight moment of this particular event?
Well, one of the highlights is the weather actually, because I come from a region that was a bit hot. I'm coming in here, I was anticipating that I was going to have the same weather, but here coming in here, we saw that we met a much more cold weather. And
actually, for us Kenyans, we are wondering why is June a month or a fridge? So I mean, and also I was hearing chatter from Nigerian players, and they were complaining that this particular they will have won despite the weather. So coming to the 11th edition, maybe if it's going to be Nigeria, probably the weather will favor you. But then back to what you were telling me, your highest your moment, your best moment of this game.
The best moment for me is the fact that this is happening in an institution, an ivory tower, an epicenter of academic excellence. We want to engender sports culture, which should start from the ivory tower. The university is where whatever you want to develop, and you want the whole society, the nation to take care of it or to adopt this, it comes from the university. And I'm happy that sports culture is being entrenched, and I have to say kudos to the different sports bodies of the universities that are here, and also to FASU for making it possible, and to Kenyatta University for hosting well. Let me equally use this opportunity to thank my Vice Chancellor, Professor Charles Okechukwu Simone, for giving us the platform to represent Nigeria, and for giving these young ladies and athletes opportunity to be here. This goes a long way, and this will remain in the medulla of these players for very, very long time to come. Sports, we have to change the narrative for sports. I'd like to thank him for this great opportunity, and let me also thank the Kenyatta University for hosting, for the hospitality. Although in terms of the food, when you guys come to Lagos, we'll tell you, we'll give you a better recipe. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. We definitely, are glad, and we'll be looking forward for some fufu and whatever the Nigerians call it. But then, we're definitely talking about some football, and who better, to talk to rather than the coach right here for Kenyatta University, the Hard Nuts himself, Tobias Ochola, the Gor Mahia legend. When you look at the journey for Kenyatta University, the Hard Nuts, it has been one tough one. The road to China, starting the group stage, losing to Makerere University Business School 2 goals, and then crossing over into from the group stages all the way to the semis. Some would say crossing over by a whisker, and actually they beat Makerere University, and then they said it is not enough. We have to actually again beat not only Makerere University, but then also Makerere University of Business School. 2 goals to 1. This, again, was an interesting, game. Even as the Nigerian journalist Dr. Ikene, was saying, it was a great moment, an electric moment. Whole 90 minutes plus 30 minutes, and the Hard Nuts actually, continued with that particular game. We'll definitely, be, getting to interview Mr. Tobias Ochola. I remember when, he was in the field. He was, apparently, I would say speechless for that particular matter. He was, looking at the field on that, and he couldn't actually believe it. He was literally looking at the field, looking up at the sky, and he couldn't believe it. But then he is actually going to China. And most definitely also, we'll definitely get to interview him on how, the women's also, they performed, and, what he really, intends to. Remember, this is Kenyatta University, and right next to me, as I had told you, it is the Kenyatta University Amphitheater. The closing ceremony is about to start. Looking, right here, everything looks beautiful, as you can see. I'm actually quite thirsty right here, and I'd really, I took some water. But then right here is Tobias Ochola, the coach for Kenyatta University men's team. Coach. And there you have it, some beautiful pictures of Kenyatta University, the hard nuts, celebrating and, being awarded. And right here with me is the coach for hard nuts, Tobias Ochola, aka Jokali. Coach, good evening, and congratulations on your win. How does it feel? Actually, remember previously I had interviewed you, but then how does it feel all this journey through? Did you actually, before when you were starting this particular games, did you think that you would be going to China?
First and foremost, good evening to you too. My first message is to the Vice Chancellor Kenyatta University for giving us this opportunity, because he approved for us to be in camp. That enabled us to prepare well for this championship. And I think that in a way gave the teams that were in FASU the appetite to train, because we were being taken care of, and we had our targets for the championship.
What was your target for these particular games?
In football, and I believe all teams, the target was to be in the finals, where I believe in ball games, soccer and basketball reached the finals. We did not have teams in handball and hockey, but the ball games that reached the finals, it's only football that has achieved. We have picked the #1 trophy. Basketball fell by the wayside. They lost to UJ, that is University of Joburg, in the final. So if you look at the trend, we met MUBS in the preliminaries. We lost to MUBS 2-0. Our basketball team also met UJ in the preliminaries. They defeated UJ by 5 points. So now when they met in the final, I don't know the gap, but they lost to UJ, so they are second. As we met MUBS in the finals, but it was like a revenge match. And in football, we always say you can never lose to a team twice, because if you change your plan, which you used the first game, it might backfire on you. So I believe MUBS, either they stuck to their guns, what was the system they used, the kind of players they used, but if you look at the performance of MUBS today, they were not the same MUBS we played in the first game. They had some lackluster movements when the game started, and I think my team picked those loopholes, and we really capitalized on them. Though the longest period of the match of the 90 minutes went 0-0, but there were certain periods which we were dominant, and there are some periods where they were also dominant. So by that time, when the game is seesaw, any team can easily win.
All right, and when you look at the first day of these particular games, when the Hard Nuts were playing with MUBS again for the group stages, and you lost, how briefly a preview of that particular game? How were you're coming to this particular game? The kind of tactics that you came into this particular game with?
Okay, when we played the first game, I believe it was a stage fright, because KU Adnats has never been in this kind of platform. But after the game, I think we talked, we said that that was the start of the war, the journey. That was the start of the journey. So we only had now to prepare so that in any case, we meet again in the finals. And I talked to the players that if we meet the guys in the final MUBS, we had to go over them, because we were not going to lose twice to MUBS. And I think they picked the message, and we worked on that message, and here we are. Because normally first games are very tensed, because you don't know your opponents. And when the game progresses, you can now see the way they play and learn the way they... And the fatigue also comes in.
Right.
But I believe we prepared so well. That is my belief.
Right.
If we prepare well, you have to achieve. And I'm very happy that the hard times we had in training has given us this marvelous moment to celebrate.
When you look at Makerere University, players, they are quite tall kind of players as compared to hard nuts. And as as fans, and as the audience, they were watching this particular match. Most of the balls, they were high balls for Makerere, and it was an advantage for them. Was this a particular thing that you talked to your boys about, to focus on mostly low balls rather than high balls?
When you play tall guys, you tend to put the ball on the ground, and if it works, it will work to your advantage. They can also decide to play the ball in the air, but you see, it's simple. When the ball is in the air, I'll jump on your body, so that the ball will just drop there. And you see, when the ball is on the ground, you are stable as compared to when the ball is high. So I believe all those factors, you have to put the two of them together to help you achieve. Because there's nowhere you'll just play ground balls until the end. There must be sometimes you do a long pass or a lob pass to bypass a group of people to go to so that the ball go to your person.
Right. And Coach, let's talk about your final group stage match with the American University in Cairo. It was one particular match that was quite an interesting one in all this particular FASU games.
Yes.
The game ended for that particular evening, the 70th minute on Wednesday, and then it was rescheduled to the next day. You as a coach, first and foremost, do you think this was fair for the other side to should have that match actually ended?
One, when we were about to enter the field, I proposed that we don't play, but we wait for the next day. But you see, the pressure was on us because the next day was also semis. So we had now to go in and even play as little time as possible so that we can rest for the semi-finals. But it did not work. In fact, instead of playing 45 minutes each half, we were playing 35 minutes each half. So we only played the first 35. The second 35, we only played 15 minutes, and darkness cropped in. That's why the referee called off the match. So we had to continue with the same players that were in the game when the game was called off. Then the substitutions now will come in as the game progresses. And that also gave us the advantage because they were leading. So they were only waiting for the time to end. As we were starting from zero to equalize, then get a winner. And we ended up having the first goal and the second goal, and then the game was sealed.
Coach, those particular 20 minutes, they were quite an interesting 20 minutes. What is the mentality of it as we also wrap this particular conversation?
The mentality was that we have to press and get a goal and get a goal and get a goal so that we don't go to penalties because we are waiting for the semi-finals.
Right.
So our attack yielded the 2 goals and then the game was over.
So right now you're probably starting to look for a bag going for China. How are you preparing the boys for China all the way to 2023? Briefly as we wrap this particular conversation.
Now it is mental, but we are waiting for the plan from the university when we will start training, and then our students that are coming in September, if we can get other good players to beef the current crop we have, because we also have students that are graduating. So if we get good first years coming in, they will also add value to the current crop we have so that we grow a strong team as we head to China.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Coach. AKA Juakali. We'll definitely get to know why he is called Juakali. Thank you, Coach, for that, and congratulations for your win. We really have to wrap this particular conversations up even as we wait for the official closing ceremony. My name is Stanley Yeringita. Let's meet tomorrow at 2 p.m. Quite interesting conversations. Remember the LFNE 6 this particular weekend, the 18th day of June, right here at this particular building that is right on my right hand side, the Kenyatta University Amphitheater. It is going to be one mega mixed martial arts event. Tomorrow I'll be interviewing 2 coaches and 2 players on all about what basically what to expect on that particular day. My name is Stanley Yeringita. That is where we wrap this particular briefing up. See you tomorrow.
Kenyatta University will host over 2,000 student athletes from all over Africa for the 10th edition of the Federation of Sports University FASU Games from 6th to 10th June 2022 at the main campus of Thika Highway. Athletes will compete in athletics, soccer, badminton, karate, chess, handball, tennis, swimming, taekwondo, volleyball, and 5 demonstration sports. The soccer tournament will be used to qualify Africa's representative to the FASU University World Cup Soccer 2023 in Xinjiang, China. There will be a Vice-Chancellor Symposium on 2nd and 3rd June to discuss games under the theme, the role of university sports as a vehicle for institutional development. Come and catch all the actions at the Kenyatta University Sports Ground. Entrance is absolutely free.
To the Church O'Clock Show. I'm your host, Esther Becky.
And my name is DJ Tero.
We start you off with a word of prayer and get you started with a live transformational worship experience. And have our minds renewed by the word of God on the word segment.
And not forgetting new music za hii wiki, yani ndakuwa bado nawapatia pale wasanii wamekuwa kiwakali. So make sure manzo tune in because zitakuwa zina flow pia pale mixes kwa wingi, yani zitakuwa zina come through, and pia performance yani from our gospel artist hapa on Gospel Art
from 7 to
10 a.m. only on KUTV.
Hujambo mtazamaji, karibu katika matangazo ya Duniani Leo kutoka VOA Swahili hapa Washington DC. Si mwingine ni mimi Mringai na kukaribisha nasi katika matangazo ya Duniani Leo kutoka VOA Swahili. Na tutaungana na baadhi ya waandishi wetu kutoka maeneo mengine ulimwenguni ili tupate kukuarifu zaidi. Na taarifa zetu hivi leo zinaanza moja kwa moja hapa Marekani. Baada ya uchunguzi wa zaidi ya mwaka mmoja, kamati ya Januari 6 Alhamisi usiku ilifanya usikilizaji wa kwanza wa hadharani na kuiwasilisha kesi mbele ya watu wa Marekani kwamba rais wa zamani wa Marekani Donald Trump aliwaelekeza wafuasi wake kuvamia jengo la bunge kama sehemu ya njama ya kuendeleza kushikilia urais. Hadija Riami anasoma ripoti ya mwandishi wa VOA Catherine Gibson.
Kwenye kanda ya video ambayo haijawahi kuonekana hapo kabla. Na katika ushuhuda uliotolewa na mtengeneza filamu na afisa wa Capitol wa polisi ambaye alipata majeraha mabaya.
I saw friends with blood all over their faces. I was slipping in people's blood.
Wabunge wa Democrat 6 na wa Republican 2 walibainika wazi kwa mara ya kwanza katika uchunguzi wao wa mwaka mmoja kuhusiana na uvamizi uliofanyika Januari 6 mwaka 2021 kwenye jengo la bunge la Marekani.
It was domestic enemies of the Constitution who stormed the Capitol and occupied the Capitol.
Walikuwa ni maadui wa ndani wa katiba ambao walivamia Capitol na kulishikilia jengo. Walikuwa wakitaka kuvuruga na kusimamisha shughuli ya makabidhiano ya madaraka. Walifanya hivyo kutokana na ushawishi wa rais wa Marekani. Rais wa Marekani alijaribu kusitisha makabidhiano ya madaraka, mchakato ambao umekuwepo kwa miaka 220.
A precedent that had stood for 220 years.
Trump alishtakiwa kutaka kuondolewa madarakani Januari 2021 kwa kuchochea ghasia wiki moja tu kabla ya kuondoka White House. Wajumbe waliongoza uchunguzi wa bunge na kufanya mahojiano na mamia ya watu, na maelfu ya nyaraka zilikusanywa. Walisema watakwenda mbali zaidi kuwasilisha kesi kuwa Trump alipanga na kutekeleza mapinduzi ya ghasia ili kushikilia uraisi.
President Trump summoned the mob.
Rais Trump aliuita umati. Umati ulikusanyika na kuwasha moto kwa shambulizi hili. Utasikia pia kuhusu njama za kutenda vitendo vya uhaini hapo Januari 6. Uhalifu umefafanuliwa katika sheria zetu kama njama za mapinduzi, kuiondoa au kuiharibu kwa nguvu serikali ya Marekani.
The government of the United States.
Usikilizaji wa kwanza ulilenga Proud Boys na Oath Keepers, makundi yenye msimamo mkali ya watu binafsi ambao wameshtakiwa kwa njama za uhaini kuhusiana na shambulizi la Januari 6. Mtengeneza filamu Nick Quested alitoa ushahidi kuhusu kuchukua video za makundi hayo siku hiyo.
I documented the crowd turn from protesters.
Nilirekodi mkusanyiko huu ambao uligeuka kutoka kuwa maandamano hadi kuwa watenda maovu ambao walivamia jengo. Nilishangazwa na ukubwa wa kundi hilo wakiwa na ghadhabu na kutumia lugha chafu.
The anger and the profanity.
Wabunge wengi wa Republican tayari wamedai kwa matokeo ya uchunguzi si halali.
Is the most political? Ni kamati ya kisiasa zaidi na ina uhalali mdogo katika historia ya Marekani. Imetumia fursa ya bunge kuwaita watu na kuwashambulia wa Republican. Mchakato ulikuwa na mapungufu na ulikuwa maelezo ya kisiasa ya raia wa kawaida.
Lakini vikao vinne zaidi mwezi huu, wachunguzi wa kamati walisema watathibitisha kwa Trump alifanya uratibu, alitumia juhudi kadhaa kubadili matokeo ya uchaguzi. Huku uchaguzi wa katikati ya awamu kwa ndio maamuzi wa nani atadhibiti baraza la wawakilishi, kuthibitisha kesi hii ni jambo la juu.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu, jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Fountain of knowledge, well of running experience, a bubbling spring of wisdom, a promise of better tomorrow. Kenyatta, oh Kenyatta, our nation's Kenyatta, our nation's pride, University of our time. Kenyatta, oh Kenyatta, our nation's Kenyatta, our nation's pride, University of our time.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. At this juncture, I will request that we take our seats as we have a moment of entrance of the flags of the participating universities and countries as led by MC Fungututi.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the amphitheater. We want to begin we want to see the flags, the countries that has been representing Kenyatta here at Kenyatta University in the 10th FASU Games. We've come to the final day, so I can see everyone is looking so happy, especially those winners. Kenyatta University, thank you so much for a stunning performance. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, here comes the countries led by the number one in the line is Botswana and Egypt. Wapi makofi yao? DJ, you can give them some music as they pass by so that they can be able to feel the energy, the oomph, the Africanism in us. A round of applause as they come. This is Botswana, Egypt, the British University in Egypt, American University in Cairo, German University in Cairo, Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, Ghana, University of Ghana, Legon, the French University, University for Development Studies. All right, so give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the performances. Thank you so much. Ndeje University from Uganda, Makerere University, Nigeria, Lagos State University, Ojo, University of Lagos.
Don't walk, you don't try. You're supposed to be
This is Africanism. Look at that. Strathmore University from Kenya, Nairobi, United States University of Africa, Chihonye University of Technology, and Islamic University in Uganda, makofi yao tafadhali. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the teams that represented us in the 10th FASU Games, the All Africa University Games. Back to you.
Thank you very much, MC Fungututi. And now we are well constituted. We are ready to start. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, in the course of these competitions, we lost one of our participants, and our sympathies and prayers are with the family. I want to request that all of us be upstanding for a moment of silence in honor of the departed soul. Peace. I will request that we remain standing as I now invite Father Boniface Karaoke, the chaplain Catholic community, to offer a word of prayer.
As we pray, I would want to quote from the scripture, first, the letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, the first letter, chapter 9 and verse 25. Everyone competes in games and goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last. But we do it to get a crown that will last forever. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. God, our Creator and Sustainer, we come to you this evening in thanksgiving at the end of the All African University Games FASU. Thank you, Lord, for the preparations you gave to all the universities to equip their sportsmen and sportswomen with the necessary skills to compete in the 10th FASU game, 10th edition FASU Games. We thank you, Lord, for the committees, and especially here at Kenyatta University, involved in various areas to facilitate the games, the travel, the accommodation, the catering, health, game venues, volunteers, security, and all the teams. We thank you for all the teams and the highly competitive week that we have had, for all the games involved, the successes, the goals, the winnings, the medals, and for all our coaches, the managers, the doctors, nurses, first aiders, for the referees. We say to you, Lord, Asante, for giving us all this. We want to appreciate the many learning opportunities encountered in the various games and interactions of the diverse cultures as we encounter in our games. We also pray that our universities have learned a lot in the various conferences on the role of university sports as a vehicle for institutional development. God our Father, in the spirit of Ubuntu, we may have hurt others with our words, with our mannerism, decision in some of the difficult games. We ask for forgiveness from our fellow sportsmen and sportswomen, and to you, our Master, we ask for forgiveness. We pray that you refresh our fatigued bodies after today to be rejuvenated to go into the field again and to compete. Father, imprint in us the spirit to accept defeat with honor and not in blame or bitterness. We praise you, Lord, for the victories achieved for all our teams. May all our young athletes leave this arena and the KU University at the end of the 10th FASU Games having grown in character. May we be holy as you are holy, Lord our God. We make our prayer through Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. May we have our seats. Our chief guest, Professor Shem Migot Adola, who is the Chairman Council, Kenyatta University. Professor Paul Wainaina, the Vice Chancellor, Kenyatta University. Ms. Nomsa Malangu, President, Federation of African University Sports, FASU, and Madame Penina, the Secretary General, FASU. Professor Godfrey Mse, DVC Finance, Kenyatta University, and Chairman Locke. Members of Kenyatta University Council, all FASU officials present, members of KU Management Board, all our partners and sponsors, all our sportsmen and women, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the closing ceremony of the 10th All-African University Games. We have had 5 fantastic days of great sporting, and I'm confident as we go home we'll take the good memories as we look forward to the 11th edition of the same games. We are grateful to all the men and women who have made this possible. Now, before we go into the other serious parts of this program, I want to invite us to a moment of entertainment, brief moment of entertainment, as we prepare to listen to the closing speeches and award of trophies.
Ok, mesdames et messieurs, avant de passer à la session des discours, nous vous invitons maintenant à profiter de cette occasion pour savourer un petit peu le divertissement à travers la chorale et tout ce qui va être présenté. Merci.
Getting on stage is a group of singers. They are called Almasi Choral. This is a group of singers who've entertained guests in various conferences and meetings throughout the competition time. They're going to sing one song titled Namawa. This is one of our local dialects, local melodies. We hope you'll enjoy as they do their presentation. Choral, ladies and gentlemen, as we invite Rambolo dancers who are going to give us their rendition of one of the African or Kenyan communities' dances. Meanwhile, students from Makerere University, you are requested to report to the bus for departure right away. Rambolo dancers. Ladies and gentlemen, for Rambolo dancers, thank you so much, Rambolo dancers. Thank you so much, Almasi Choral, for that brief moment of entertainment. May we give them a round of applause? Ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the next section of the program. And at this juncture, allow me to invite Professor Godfrey Mse, Chairman the local organizing committee, and is also the Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of finance and planning, Kenyatta University. A round of applause to him. He's done a great job organizing the whole local committee as we plan for these games. Karibu, Professor.
Thank you. The chief guest, Chairman, Kenyatta University Council, Professor Shem Migot Adhola, and the other members of the University Council present, the Vice Chancellor, Kenyatta University, Professor Paul Wainaina, the President of the Federation of African University Sports, Madam Nomsa Malangu, the guest Vice Chancellors and representatives of VCs present, delegates, heads of delegation to the 10th edition of FASU Games, Kenyatta University Management Board members, members of the local organizing committee, staff, students, ladies and gentlemen. The organizing committee of the 10th edition of the Federation of African University Sports Games is happy to note that the one-week tournament has run largely successfully in spite of the sad news that we got this morning. And on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to pass the condolences of the committee to the family of the bereaved. At this point, I wish to request members of the committee to stand and just be acknowledged by members. Just wherever you are, I'd like to know the members, those young men and women, the old men and women like me who organized this. Yeah, those are the faces behind the organization of these games. Thank you very much, colleagues. The committee consists of both staff and students of the university, as well as FASU Secretariat and the Ministry of Sports, Culture and National Heritage. The ministry seconded 2 people to us These were Madam Elizabeth Rotich and Solomon Mbogo, who really guided us in during the planning period for the games. On the Kenyatta University side, I wish to thank the Vice Chancellor for not only appointing us to the committee, but also providing resources to refurbish the sporting facilities to the required standards. Asante sana Bwana VC. I also wish to acknowledge the following in particular and the Kenyatta University fraternity in general. VC, you gave us a very able secretariat, and the secretariat was headed by one Betty Kawira, who really, that particular section approached their tasks with a lot of zeal and commitment in their docket. They went beyond their mandate to ensure the documentation, the follow-up, and the communication to the different stakeholders was seamless and timely. So we wish to thank the Secretariat for a great job done. The Director Catering Services, Dr. Lucy Kadhuri Ogola, and her team for fantastic work ensuring the needs of the sports people were ably catered for. She also dedicated her time in ensuring that the subcommittees had actually delivered on their action points, and whenever she noticed anything that was like lacking behind, she alerted the committee for inappropriate intervention. The Director Accommodation Services, Dr. Beatrice Kazungu, and her team for responding to the comfort needs of all those who sought their services. We also like to thank the SS Manager and Head of Grounds through the Register of Finance and Development, Dr. Paul Kachanja, for ensuring that the facilities were ready for use. The Transport Manager, Bwana Hebron Adoli, asante sana, for ensuring that the transport was in place. The Director KU Health Services, Dr. Wahari, for ensuring that the health needs of the participants were met. We'd like to thank Dr. Oyugi and Dr. Dan Kanwambugu for the exciting entertainment every evening and any other time during the sporting time. The Director Public Relations, Mashua Koinange, thank you for linking us with the organizers, both internal and external, and including digital platforms for the visibility of the games. The Director Sports and Games, Dr. Flores Kitau, for your team and especially the technical guidance in hosting the games. Procurement Manager, Victoria Mwema, thank you very much for ensuring the timely procurement of goods and services. Registrar Corporate Affairs, for your protocol aspects and logistical issues. Registrar Admin and Derito Kikaria for linking us with the external sporting fraternity to ensure that we got all the support we needed. We got. I would like also to thank my able Vice Chair, alternate Chair, Professor Vincent Onywera. This gentleman is a fantastic VC. He went ahead to ensure that the chairman never slowed down. Whenever he noticed that I was slowing down, he will tap my back and say, wake up. And I did exactly that. Thank you very much, Professor. He also went ahead to mobilize resources. He went ahead to approach other funding agencies outside the university to ensure that we got the necessary supplementation for the resources. The pre-game symposium organizer, Professor Kitonga Rindaugu, for ably bringing together the stakeholders in the sporting world so that they could change the words that they had. I would like also to extend my sincere appreciation to the Secretary General of FASU and the President of FASU for giving us the necessary support, and the management board members, especially Professor Washeke Wanjoy and Professor Paul Okemo for assisting in awarding the medals every evening. VC, I would like to end here by also recognizing your role in ensuring that we had the necessary resources, and we say thank you very much. We'd like to wish the participating teams a safe journey back home, and we welcome you any other time to KU. I would like to take this opportunity now, VC, to welcome you to talk to the participants. Thank you very much. Asante.
Voilà, donc c'est le professeur Mousset qui a chapeauté les travaux du comité organisateur de l'événement. Il a apprécié le succès du tournoi. Il a exprimé ses condoléances à la famille en deuil suite au décès de l'un des athlètes. Il a apprécié l'appui accordé par différents acteurs et parties prenantes. Et finalement, il a apprécié FASU. Il a souhaité un bon retour, un beau voyage à toutes les équipes plutôt. Merci.
Thank you very much, Professor Muse. I'm going to be very brief. I'm not going to repeat some of the things you have said, probably just to rub in. Our chief guest, Professor Shemi Gotadola, who is the chairman of the University Council, and actually supported by council members. We have Eric and we have Mary. These are the people who are supporting our chief guest. Ms. Nomsa Malangu, the president of FASU, who has been with us throughout. We have Ms. Penina, who is the Secretary General, FASU. We have Khalid Ayed, Ambassador Egypt, here in absentia. We have Mr. Sharif El Rian, who is the General Secretary of the Egyptian Olympic Committee, again in absentia. Dr. Jessa Victory, who is the first Secretary, Nigerian High Commission. He was here but left. Our very own Professor Muse, who is actually the DVC in charge of finance and development, and also very important, the person who was in charge of the chairing the local organizing committee. Obviously, he has mentioned most of the people who are in that committee, and I want to say congratulations for the work well done. Then we have members of management who have also been very helpful in terms of making sure that these games, the 10th FASU games, were a success. We also have our sponsors. There are very many sponsors who came to our aid. Right now we have the UNGA group. We really thank you. After coming to our aid, we explained what this tournament means, the scope. You went back and brought more food. We want to thank you for that. We have Karen Hospital, who actually assisted us in terms of the health of our young people, and others. We could not do without that, and I want actually to appreciate them. We want to appreciate all those. We want also to appreciate a representative from Manisa University in Turkey. We were there like 3 weeks ago. So these are people who have actually made sure that they are with us. But last and not least, our students, our guardians, women and men. Let us clap for this. Let us clap for them. Yes. Yes. These are the young people that actually the reason why we are here. And everybody else who is here, you are most welcome. I said I'm not going to repeat most of the things that my DVC have said, but I want to say, whatever the results that we have, those who have won and those who did not win, I want to repeat the objectives of these games. One was to benchmark the young people, to show their talents, benchmark with others, and for me, our chief guest, that has been fulfilled. Secondly, it is to network. And I can tell you, I have been going around, and I know the young people have networked. The people who are minding the students have networked. The coaches have networked. And that means the next time we meet will be better. We have shared ideas. And I want really to thank all those people who have been involved, because it is not just competition. Lastly, I said it is the health of our young people. So for me, I said whatever has happened, whatever trophy you have had, even without a trophy, we are all winners, because the three, and I want us to clap for ourselves. I want us to clap for ourselves for doing that. It has been done. And for me, I really want to thank those who have been involved. I want actually just to say, when we started SKU, remember this tournament, this event was supposed to take place in 2020. It was not possible to do that. So when we were asked now to take it up, as management, as KU, we felt probably we may not be able to do it. But thank God, we took it up. Everybody was actually told that it is normally not KU to fail. The issue of failure in KU is not known. And it is because of that resilience that actually we have been able to succeed. Everybody can see that we have succeeded. Some are wondering how it was done. So, I think, yes, we want, secondly, to look at FASU officials. Since we started, you worked with us, and up to this time, you have been very, very useful, particularly in technical areas, in areas that we didn't know what to do. Every time we have questions, you are ready to answer. So I want to tell the president of FASU that we really felt your help together with the team. I remember the first day, all the executives were with us. And that really is the spirit. It is that which has pushed us, and that is why you see what we are celebrating. We want also to say that teams that actually were able to come, again, we must remember it is after COVID. And at one time, we thought we may not have quorum. But after reaching out, we were able to have the kind of people that we wanted. And again, that is why we have this hall full, and that is why we have been able to succeed. Again, thank you very much for coming, and thank you very much for making sure that the tournament is of very high level. Thank you very much. I also want to say that it has been difficult. There are certain things that we felt probably our partners, particularly the officials of FASU, would have been able to clarify so that from the beginning we know how we should have handled certain areas. But the good thing is that actually they were here. So we are saying, going forward, probably we sit down with the first officials and try to see how we can improve. I don't know when we are going to have the next event, but we'll need to sit down, look at what has happened, and see whether there are certain things we can do to improve. But so far, I want to say we are doing very well, and we have done very well. So, as said, I don't want to, say much. Most of the things that have been said, they have been said by my DVC. But again, I want to say there is serious of our students, KU students, the soccer, yeah, yes. You have done us proud. Actually, yes, I talked to the young people before they started, and we said that cup must remain in KU. So you did not disappoint. You did not disappoint me, and I also want to mention Lady Wanza. Lady Wanza. I hope she's here. Where is she? Where is Lady Wanza? She's not here? Yes. If there is determination, that is the example. 2 gold, one of the most difficult areas, 5,000 and 10,000. So what we are saying is that as KU, as students, we are a brand, and we must make sure that that brand is protected. Thank you very much, the team, and we'll see what we can do for you. So, our chief guest is late, and we want to say we are so grateful that you are here, even when it is so late, accompanied by the hardworking committee members, the board members, and we are saying we are very proud of you, and we know you are going to support us, to be supported by you even further. So, once again, thank you very much, and God bless all of us. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I now want to take this opportunity to invite our chief guest, Professor Migota Dola, to make a few remarks as our chief guest. So, karibu sana, Professor.
Merci, mesdames et messieurs. Je vais procéder au résumé très rapide de ce que vient de dire le professeur Wainaina, le vice-chancelier de l'Université Kenyatta. Il a souhaité la bienvenue à tous et à toutes à cette 10e édition des Jeux de FASU. Il a par la suite souhaité que cette semaine a été une semaine intéressante et productive à travers les Jeux et tout ce que nous avons fait. Par après, il a exprimé la fierté de l'université en tant que hôte de cet événement et il a remercié tous ceux qui ont joué des rôles différents, les parties prenantes, les acteurs qui ont rendu cet événement un grand succès. Il a signalé quelques cas particuliers de réussite et il a félicité tous les sportifs et sportives ayant participé à cet événement. Et il a également félicité toutes les équipes et il a finalement souhaité un bon voyage, un bon retour à ceux qui rentrent chez eux, ceux qui ne sont pas du Kenya. Merci.
Thank you very much. I want to express my appreciation to the Vice Chancellors from all the participating universities that have taken part in these games for a whole week. I must also appreciate the presence, support of the presidents, the Federation of African University Sports, Madame Nomsa Malangu. Thank you for having made this possible. I also must express my appreciation to Madame Penina Kabenge, Secretary General, Federation of Africa University Sports. And also to Mr. Khalid Al-Abiad, the Ambassador of Egypt, for the support and for the participation of perhaps the largest universities from one country. I'm quite sure how to place them with the universities from Nigeria and Ghana, but I appreciate that. Then, to Mr. Sharif El-Erian, General Secretary of the Egyptian Olympics Committee, the Chairman of Local Committee, Professor Godfrey Msei, our resolute sportsmen and sportswomen from the many countries that participated, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The 10th edition of All Africa University Games has been successfully concluded. It was our great honor to spend the 5 past days with friends from different African countries. It was very exciting watching our athletes' efforts. We witnessed great team spirit and intense competition throughout the 5 days. These games fully demonstrated our harmonious spirit as human beings. It was wonderful to see the participants not only being positive and cheerful, but also being tremendously proactive and always challenging themselves to go higher, to go faster, and to go further. Due to everyone's efforts and participation, these games have been an unforgettable experience, and I hope everyone takes away some wonderful memories. All our athletes have competed fairly and done their best, displaying strong determination, great perseverance, and true sportsmanship. Great perseverance. You have created the proudest moments of the Games and shown us the unifying power of sports and overriding national language barriers. A tremendous spirit of friendship has also been clearly evident throughout the Games. The exemplary participation by you all, has promoted the spirit of our solidarity on this continent. Congratulations to the winners. Congratulations also to the losers. Whether you won a medal or not, you are all winners. In the long run, your active and continued participation in sports will always pay you rich dividends in terms of fitness, well-being, and happiness. Sports, particularly team sports, engender purposeful and meaningful social relationships. We humans are social animals. We have a need to socially connect. We have a need to socially connect with others.
2,000 student athletes from all over Africa for the 10th edition of the Federation of Sports University FASU Games from 6th to 10th June 2022 at the main campus of Thika Highway. Athletes will compete in athletics, soccer, badminton, karate, chess, handball, tennis, swimming, taekwondo, volleyball, and 5 demonstration sports. The soccer tournament will be used to qualify Africa's representative to the FASU University World Cup Soccer 2023 in Xinjiang, China. There will be a Vice-Chancellor Symposium on 2nd and 3rd June to discuss games under the theme, the role of university sports as a vehicle for institutional development. Come and catch all the actions at the Kenyatta University Sports Ground. Entrance is absolutely free. Kenyatta University will host over 2,000 student athletes from all over Africa for the 10th edition of the Federation of Sports University FASU Games from 6th to 10th June 2022 at the main campus of Thika Highway. Athletes will compete in athletics, soccer, badminton, karate, chess, handball, tennis, swimming, taekwondo, volleyball, and 5 demonstration sports. The soccer tournament will be used to qualify Africa's representative to the FASU University World Cup Soccer 2023 in Xinjiang, China. There will be a Vice-Chancellor Symposium on 2nd and 3rd June to discuss games under the theme, the role of university sports as a vehicle for institutional development. Come and catch all the actions at the Kenyatta University Sports Ground. Entrance is absolutely free.
How have they been according to you as the president?
My senior man.
Wow, it's been exciting, it's been interesting, and it's been fulfilling. I think Kenyatta has outdone themselves, but there's still room for improvement. And I think the most important thing is to see student athletes doing what they enjoy the most, and that is playing sport. And I'm glad that a lot of the universities have sent their athletes here to participate and compete. And obviously, everyone wants a gold medal, but not everyone can get a gold medal. So yes, we're very excited. And yeah.
Right, I want to dive into some particular cases, two particular cases, football cases that happened yesterday. One is the women's matches, Makerere University, Egypt. A little fight happened there. As the president, what do you have to say about that? And also yesterday's match, Kenyatta University and Egypt, the men's match. The game didn't, finish. There was a little fracas in between there. How is the FASU management handling all this?
Fair play is very important. Fair play is key. Sport is not only about winning. We all know that everyone wants to win, but facts are the referee's decision is final, and if a referee has made a decision, there's nothing you can do to change that decision. And more than anything, as FASU will follow all the necessary processes. If people protest, protests will be handled. If people appeal, appeals will be handled. But more than anything, we need to remain fair, and both players and officials need to understand sporting fields are not boxing rings. Therefore, people need to understand that decisions will not always go your way, and most importantly, you need to be honest and have integrity as a sportsman and a sportswoman.
He's called Billy James.
So are there investigations going on for these particular cases?
There are currently people sitting handling the cases. So as soon as decisions have been made, the public will be informed.
Briefly, paint us a picture of tomorrow's closing ceremony. Tomorrow is going to be the last day. What are we going to also expect?
Well, I don't know if you've watched the opening ceremony. I am sure the closing ceremony is going to be much better than the opening. And most importantly, as FASU, we are thankful to the people of Kenya, Kenyatta University, and the government at large for allowing us to come to this beautiful country. Thank you.
Let's talk about the 11th edition of the FASU All Africa Games. The location, where are we going next? How is it going to be, and what lessons also have you learned from this 5 days that you're going to actually put into the 11th edition?
Well, we are going to have a review session to look at what went wrong, what went right, where can we improve, because as FASU we believe that every day is an opportunity to do better, and don't spoil the excitement. We will announce who's going to get the 11th edition, and we want that to be something exciting for people. So if we say it on TV, it won't be as exciting.
Any last words as the president of FASU, any last words that you feel like it is important the public should know?
1 minute.
The African continent needs to appreciate sport and invest in sport, because the reality is for every 1,000 shillings you spend in sport, you are actually saving 10,000 shillings in health. So people of Africa, people of this beautiful continent, invest in sport. Make sport as part of your daily lives.
Right, thank you very much, and success.
International University.
The 10th edition of All Africa University Games kick off to a winning start for the host Kenyatta University with a dominant display against Gamal Abdel Nasser Conakry of Guinea in Pool A. Bill Clinton's 87th minute strike proved to be the difference between the two sides. In another encounter, Kisii University played out to a 2-2 draw against University of Zambia in Group B. Emmanuel Victor and Frank Boni were on the target before the breather to put Kisii University ahead.
Yeah, okay. Basically for us, we had issues to do with fouls. You can see even the first goal that we conceded. It was basically from a free kick, and also the second goal from a penalty. So, we are having issues, one with set piece, and also we are going to work on those issues about fouls. So now we can contain games and avoid them at all costs.
On our side, haijakuwa better. According to our expectation, we expected 3 points. But still hiyo 1 point imekaa mpya, itabidi tumechukulia tu positive. Maybe it was God's plan, man.
But Carlos Kauma pulled one for Zambia before Chipo Sabdashi scored the equalizer to deny Kisii 3 maximum points.
To extend our highest respects and most sincere gratitude to the joint efforts of all the participating teams, all the coaches, and members of management from various institutions represented at the 10th edition of the FASU Games. I also take this opportunity to sincerely thank the heads of delegations, team officials, sponsors, volunteers, and those behind the scenes for your participation and great support in making this week a success. An old African saying goes thus: there is no endless feast. Happy hours are short. I hope these games, held in Nairobi, Kenya, will leave an unforgettable impression on all the participating guests. I hope that all the universities represented here can enhance friendship and strengthen cooperation so that we can make joint efforts in pushing forward the development agenda of our African universities. I also sincerely hope that all our distinguished teams and guests can explore the unique charm of Nairobi. Here we have a harmonious existence between tradition and modernity, between new and ancient, and between what is human and nature. May the spirit of the games, may the spirit of friendship and sportsmanship live in our hearts. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause once again to our chief guest, and thank you for those wonderful remarks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us now invite the President, Federation of African University Sports, FASU, Madam Nomsa Malangu, to give her speech and also perform other functions.
Asante sana to the program director, the chief guest, chairperson of the University Council, Prof. Shem, Prof. Wainana, the VC of the university. I'm a bit embarrassed by what has transpired. As the sporting community, we live by the Olympic values. And I would like to briefly refer to the 7 Olympic values, which are friendship, excellence, equality, determination, inspiration, courage, and respect. The events that took place a few moments ago is very disrespectful, and I profusely apologize to my elders and to all athletes in the room. We will not allow glitches like this to deter us. Tonight is about the celebration of sport. Tonight is about the celebration of the successful 5 days that we have had in Kenyatta University. From the bottom of my heart, if there's a bottom, I'm not too sure, I would like to thank the people of Kenya. I would like to thank the President and the First Lady who graced us with her presence in the opening. And I would also like to thank the leadership of Kenyatta University and everyone in the LOC that ensured that these games are a success. I'm not saying we're a success because I'm still in the games mode. The hospitality that you have shown us, the love, the understanding, we truly appreciate. And I would like to request all volunteers to stand up. Are they in the room? If you are a volunteer, please stand. I would like to pay tribute and thank the volunteers, because without them, we wouldn't have successful games. And I would like to take this opportunity to also thank the technical officials, the ground staff that ensured that the facilities we were using are ready. The people that ensured that we are fed. I was complaining in one event that we are overfed, and truly this morning my skirt couldn't zip properly. And thank you very much for the hospitality, the lovely food we have had. Thank you to the ladies that ensured that after we messed up in all the places we've been to, because we went to the fields, people ate and threw things around, and there was someone to clean after us. We are truly grateful. And to all the athletes that are in this room and those that have already left, give yourselves a round of applause. Sport is more than sport. It is not only about medals and winning. It goes beyond that. After this week, we have found new families. VC, you have referred to networking. We now have brothers and sisters throughout the African continent. Now you know when you go to another country that you can call someone. When you land in Lagos, you have someone to call. When you land in Ghana, you have someone to call. And most importantly, the young people in this room, you are future leaders. And you need to ensure that whatever you do is for the good of the African continent. And Africa can only succeed if Africans themselves want Africa to succeed. It starts with me. And this message I am sending to you as young people because you are the future. We have learned from each other, VC and colleagues, through the week. And Kenyatta University has outdone themselves. I am jealous of the facilities. I am jealous of the facilities of Kenyatta. If we can just photocopy Nyayo Village and take it home with, I'd be very happy. I think it is critical for us as we continue hosting these games to ensure that they give us an opportunity to become better. And I'm sure that when Kenyatta hosts next time around, they will do a much excellent job than what they have done. And I don't have the words to express this in the right way. We are truly thankful and grateful to Kenyatta University, the Kenyatta community that joined us in enjoying the matches, and those who had the opportunity to spend time around the facilities. They have seen that. And thank you for the creative market space that you created. And this is something that the next host must also look at, because we need to benchmark but also improve. Let me not take much of your time, because given an opportunity, I can speak the whole night. Thank you very much once again to everyone. And as I conclude, I would like to make an announcement. And the announcement is that the FASU Executive Committee has met. The FASU Executive Committee has met. And I think it's after hours. I tend to lose touch with reality. And in our meeting, we took a decision to request Professor Wainaina to become the patron of FASU. And this is something new that we are doing as FASU. And this is an innovative way that we are introducing to ensure that we attract more vice-chancellors, because they are CEO of our universities. Therefore, they also need to get involved in sport. And I think, Prof. Wainaina, having listened to you and interacted with you the number of times that I did,
You are the right person to assist us in achieving this. With those long few words, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause to our President of FASU. As per the program, I will still request the President of FASU to come and declare the games closed. But before she does that, I will request her to come and award the trophies. So I want to request the President, our Chief Guest, and the Vice Chancellor to come onto the stage. Let us clap for them as they come to perform. Ladies and gentlemen, during the 10th FASU Games, we had 43 universities participating. We had 13 countries participating, and we had 914 athletes and 181 officials. I'm now going to announce the way we performed according to country and according to the universities. Ladies and gentlemen, the overall best country in terms of men was Egypt. Let us give them a round of applause. The overall best country women, Egypt. Let us give them a round of applause. The overall best university, men, Ndeje University of Uganda. And overall university, best university women is American University in Cairo, Egypt. Ladies and gentlemen, the second runners-up country overall was Ghana. A round of applause. First runners-up country overall, Uganda. And top best country overall is Egypt. In the university categories, the second runners-up overall university, University of Education, Winneba, Ghana. The first runners-up overall best university, Ndeje University, Uganda. And top best university overall, American University in Cairo, Egypt. I now want to request, thank you very much and congratulations. I now want to request that we give the trophies, the shining trophies that you can see there. I want to request somebody from the protocol kindly move there. Betty, if you don't mind. Thank you, Professor Onywera. Thank you very much. Let us give a round of applause to our alternate lock chair. The first trophy is the overall best countryman that goes to Egypt. Anybody from that delegation? Anybody from that delegation? An official from FASU to kindly go and receive that on behalf of Egypt. Thank you, immediate former president. Let's give him a round of applause, Dr. Lethe, as he received that trophy on behalf of Egypt. That is the overall trophy of the countrymen, Egypt. Thank you so much, Dr. Lethe, our immediate former president of FASU. The next trophy, overall country women, again, it goes to Egypt, and I'll still request the former president to, thank you to receive it on behalf of Egypt. Let us give them a round of applause. They must have already taken their flight home. Thank you. The next trophy is second runners-up country overall, and that goes to Ghana. Anybody from the Ghanaian delegation, kindly. A round of applause to them as they move to the stage to receive that trophy. That is the delegation from Ghana. Congratulations, Ghana, for being the second runners-up country overall. Ladies and gentlemen, the next trophy is first runners-up country that goes to Uganda. A round of applause to Uganda. Anybody from that delegation? Let me have somebody from Uganda. Thank you, Collins. A round of applause to him as he gets to stage. Pick the trophy, first runners-up country overall. That is Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, the last trophy that we are going to give is the second runners-up university, and this goes to University of Education, Winneba in Ghana. Kindly come to the stage and receive that trophy.
So we easy so, but you were told I be sick, so now matter the color black or red indigo, and this is what you said to the free people.
A round of applause once again to University of Education, Winneba in Ghana. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam President, our Vice Chancellor, and our Chief Guest. And I'll now request our Vice Chancellor and our Chief Guest to remain on stage as Madam President does those other duties. They're being awarded, therefore being great hosts. Thank you very much, Madam President, for that gesture. To our Chairman of Council, Mr. Chairman, that is yours. Our Vice Chancellor is also being awarded for being such a wonderful host, and congratulations for being appointed patron of FASU, the first ever patron of FASU in the world. Thank you very much, our Chief Guest and our Vice Chancellor. May you kindly take your seats.
When I let you walk into my Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love with me. Congratulations and jubilations. I want the world to know I'm happy as can be. I wasn't thinking before today.
Let us settle down. The program is still going on as we move towards the end.
Thank you very much. Now that we have handed over the trophies and we've announced all the winners, it is my singular privilege and honor to declare the 10th FASU Games closed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are still going to perform another activity. I will request that we be all upstanding so that we play the FASU anthem as the flag is lowered. When it is brought here, the president will hand it over to our next host. So kindly, let us be upstanding. We play all the 3 stanzas of the FASU anthem. Applause, ladies and gentlemen, as I request the FASU president to come on stage and receive the flags. Kindly, the FASU president, accompanied by a chief guest and Professor Wainaina, our vice chancellor, come on stage. You receive the flags and hand them over to the next host of the games.
The next host is 2 universities from Nigeria. So I would request the representatives to come receive the flags.
A round of applause to the universities from Nigeria as they declare that they'll be the next hosts of FASU Games, the 11th African University Games. Congratulations to the universities from Nigeria, and congratulations Kenyatta University for hosting a very successful 10th African University Games. Now it's up to you, the universities of Nigeria, to host the 11th All African University Games. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm informed that the universities are Lagos State University and University of Lagos. These are the two universities in Nigeria that are going to host the next games. Another round of applause to them, and thank you for accepting to be our host for the 11th All African Games. We are looking forward to a better experience. And I'm reminded the year is 2024. Let us clap for them as they get out of the stage, ladies and gentlemen. We are now moving to the very end of this program, and I want to make a small announcement before we get out, that from here, dinner is served at the tent. One request, that when you get there, settle on your tables, then you will be guided on how we go about that. After that, there will be music, there will be dance, there will be celebration. There are no games tomorrow, so today will not end at 10, we might end up at 6, so let us go on and enjoy. I want to request that we be upstanding for the national anthem as we end this particular section. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Let us allow our chief guest and his entourage to leave, and we follow our. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful, safe journey back home, and the rest of us, may God bless you. Asante sana.
Starboy day for you.
International University.
The 10th edition of All Africa University Games kick off to a winning start for the host Kenyatta University with a dominant display against Gamal Abdel Nasser Conakry of Guinea in Pool A. Bill Clinton's 87th minute strike proved to be the difference between the two sides. In another encounter, Kisii University played out to a 2-2 draw against University of Zambia in Group B. Emmanuel Victor and Frank Boni were on the target before the breather to put Kisii University ahead.
Yeah, okay. Basically for us, I mean, we had issues with, to do with fouls. I mean, you can see even the first goal that, we conceded. It was basically from a free kick, and also the second goal from a penalty. So, we are having issues, one with, set piece, and also we are going to work on those issues about fouls. So now we can contain games and avoid them at all costs.
on our side haijakuwa better juu according to our expectation we expected 3 points but still juu hiyo 1 point imekam pia itabidi tumechukulia tu positive juu maybe it was God's plan man.
But Carlos Kauma pulled one for Zambia before Chipo Sabdashi scored the equalizer to deny Kisii 3 maximum points.
I think we didn't expect this. Actually, we planned on winning the game, but actually in the first 15 minutes, we won most of the balls, but it was so unfortunate that they scored a goal and they got comfortable. We got back and they also got back at us because of our defensive mistakes that happened. We prepared very well when coming here, but because it's our debut tournament, so it was difficult for us because we've not seen these universities play before.
Except I think we're a bit surprised. We expected the game to be tougher than it was, so we kind of panicked in the first half. With all respect to the opponents, of course, we thought they were better than how they were. Of course, they were good, but we expected them to be better. That's how we panicked. I'm sure this is a good eye-opener. We'll do better in our next game.
The ground has been set and stakes are high, with each team eyeing ticket to represent their respective university and country in the World University Games that will be held in China later this year. Rampart Makerere University of Business Studies subjected Kenyatta University to 90 minutes of torture, dismantling the Tobias Ochola-led side 2-0 to take full command of Pool A with only one match left to go. Raymond Watakire strike from the spot to put Mobs ahead before the breather, before Moner said 58th powerful header double Mobs lead.
2 out of 2. I expected this because we've been preparing for this tournament, and if I'm not mistaken, we are playing our University League in Uganda, and I'm on top of the table with maximum points. I've not conceded a goal.
Yeah, the game has been good. First, we have to be grateful to God. He's the owner of all this, and we are grateful for our coaches. We are trying to apply what they teach us every day, and that is the result.
But Ochola believes all is not lost yet.
Just from the word go, we were in the game until the penalty came in. Then after that, they dominated because of the experience they have. They have been in this game for quite some time. And they got the penalty. Then we went into the break. After the break, we were pressing for an equalizer, which a little bit of luck.
Right, it is 8:44 East African time, and before this particular, we had the closing ceremony that happened inside this particular Kenyatta University amphitheater to just wrap things up, to wrap up the 10th edition of the FASU All Africa Games, which began on the 6th day of June 2022 on Monday. And a recap of that, Her Excellency First Lady Margaret Kenyatta officially opened this particular ceremony, and we had demonstration sports and demonstration sports that happened during this particular official opening ceremony. We had the sitting volleyball and also the woodball, which is another whole version of golf. But then it happened from the 6th day of June on Monday, and then went on until today. And the last game that happened today is Kenyatta University men's football team, aka the Hardnuts versus Makerere University Business College. And right now things are up, and from moving on forward, it is going to be 2 universities in Nigeria, which the 11th edition of the FASU All Africa Games. A little of fracas, happened inside, this particular amphitheater. Coming in. Amphitheater to demonstrate. Then obviously the FASU and the officials will be giving an official statement about all this to tell us what actually happened and give us our knowledge official, statement on it, and to just also mention a player, Egypt passed on, but then an official statement will be, given moving forward. But then we call it a wrap right here. My name is Stanley Nyerungita. Remember, tomorrow we meet on Saturday, tomorrow at 2 p.m. We'll be, just to remind you, we'll definitely be talking on matters LFNE, the 6th edition. Remember the last edition, the LFNE 5, happened last year in November. So this particular next week on the 18th day of June, it is going to be mega. Eric Omondi will be right here just behind me. This particular Kenyatta University amphitheater, it is going to be one major event. Be sure to actually come on board and just watch these particular fighters coming on board to fight. But then we call it a wrap. Remember, tomorrow we meet at 2 p.m. on The Spot. From me to you, have a good evening, have a lovely evening, and good night.
You are ready to compete and to show your best results following the motto of FASU, excellence.
Four walls and a roof is what we traditionally define a house or a home to be, but through science, innovation and technology, what we call